Everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 85. In this lesson, we'll work on adding suffixes to the different syllable types that we've covered so far. As we do that, we're going to talk about the different meanings of the suffixes. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, and if the student needs more sight words at this point, then you can go to the flyingcatacademy.com website, and you can find more in the guided lessons section of the website. You'll see a sub-tab called Extra Resources, and there's 290 words there for you. You'll need the instruction sheet, the student sight word pack, some blank cards, highlighter markers, and some pencils. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you need the instruction sheets and the card pack. You'll need to cut out the cards for the syllable card drill in advance and have them ready to go on the table. For the reading drill and spelling drill for the magnetic letter tiles, you'll need the instruction sheets and the cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic sheet, and the sheets for the lesson. In addition, the drill that we'll do is one that we've been doing for the last few lessons, so you can collect that from lesson 81. And you'll also need a timer because by now you've introduced a fluency element to the lessons, I'm thinking. And you'll need to add a secondary program to do this. I like to use Read Naturally or the 6-minute reading solution. Let's do the sight word study method. Student, could you take out your sight word card pack? I'd like you to read through each of the words in your pack. After a word is read correctly, you'll put a check mark in the corner of the card. Then hand the card pack to your teacher, and it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher will read each card, and you'll write down the word on a piece of paper. When you write a word correctly, then in the other corner of your card, you can put a check mark. Afterwards, have a quick discussion with your teacher about which of the words has been mastered. Any mastered words will be removed from the card pack, and this will leave space so that you can introduce a new sight word. Let's do the phonemic awareness drill. Today, you do not need to use your colored tiles. Instead, I'd like you to have 2 gestures that you can make up. I suggest that when you're listening for vowel sounds, I'll say a word, you'll repeat the word, and you're thinking, is that vowel sound long or short? If you hear a long vowel sound, then you can make a gesture. I suggest grabbing your earlobe, but you can do whatever you want. And when you hear a short sound, then you could keep your hands in your lap, or you could make a gesture to indicate something that's short. And I like to do that. So right now, decide what you want to do, and I'll say a word. Some of these will be real words and some will be nonsense words. Your word is tip. Can you repeat that word? I touched the tip of the pen. Is that vowel sound long or short? I hear that one is short. I. Is that short I sound? Okay, how about this one? Hike. Can you repeat that word? And what gesture are you going to use? For that one, I hear the I sound, so I would grab my earlobe. Okay, here's your next word, teach. Can you repeat that word? I will teach a lesson. Is that one a long or short vowel sound? I hear that one is long. I hear the long E sound in teach. Okay, how about this one? Ud. Can you repeat that? I can't put it in a sentence because it's not a word. Is that vowel sound short or long? I hear that one is short. As in up. Okay, here's one more. Hoe. Can you repeat that word? The farmer grabbed a hoe to use in the field. Is that one a long or a short vowel? I hear that one as a long one. Oh, saying its name. Okay, great job. Let's move on. Let's do the visual drill. Student, what are the sounds of this grapheme? Did you say that this one can make y when it's a consonant, I, E, or I? If you did, great job. Teacher, you can do 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Now let's do the auditory drill. Student, you'll need the same card pack for this one, and the teacher's holding the card pack. The teacher says, your sound is E. Can you repeat that sound? Now, I would like you to write down all the ways that you know to write E. As you write them down, make sure you say E again. And when you finish, underline them and say E one more time, E. And then we'll check the work. We know 3 vowel teams that can make the E sound. We know EE, EA, and EY. And then we also know that just the letter, like the one single E, can also make that sound. Okay, teacher, you can do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Time for the syllable card drill, and your teacher has this one all cut out and ready to go on the table for you. You'll read down all the syllables in column number 1, and then all the syllables in column number 2, and then read across the rows making nonsense words. Finally, it's time to unscramble things, and you'll unscramble the syllables in column 2 so they match up with different ones in column number 1 to form real words. As you go through that process, remember to talk about the meanings of the words that you're creating and to put some of them into sentences. Let's do some syllable pounding. This is when I say a word and you repeat the word and you tell me how many syllables are in that word. Some of them will be real words and some of them will be nonsense words. Here's your first one, monkey. Can you repeat that word? I might say the monkey was swinging through the trees. Okay, when you're counting syllables, you can either put your hand under your chin, and as you say the word, your chin drops and hits your hand every time a syllable happens. So you can just count the number of times that your chin hits your hand, or you could stretch out your arm and you bang on your arm, and then your fingers come flying out to show how many syllables are in the word. So let's do that with monkey. How many syllables? I hear 2 in that one. How about this one? Mon. Can you repeat that? And how many syllables are there in mon? Just a part of a word, but not the whole word. I hear 1. I hear the olive, that short O sound. Okay, how about this one? Halloween. Can you repeat that? People go trick-or-treating on Halloween. I hear 3 there. Halloween. Okay, how about this? N. Can you repeat that? It's not a word on its own, but it's part of lots of words like enlightenment. So N. I hear the Eddie, so that's 1. N to make the N sound. How about this? Weakening. How many? I hear 3 in that one. Okay, great job. Now I'd like you to pull out your Scooping Syllables worksheet, and you can work through as many words as your teacher thinks that you have time to do. And as you're working through the different syllables and making your scoops, could you talk through your thinking? Because that's a really important thing to do as well. We are going to do a drill that we introduced in lesson 81. In this drill, we'll have 3 headings, OA, OW, and OE. And the teacher holds a pack of cards, and on the cards are written words that use those 3 vowel teams. The teacher will read the word, and then the student will point to the heading that shows the way that word is spelled. And then the teacher will reveal the card, and the student can place it under the correct heading to check the work. Let's move into the new content part of the lesson. Student, you've heard a lot about bases by this point. And can you tell your teacher what is a base? For example, is this word a base? This word is a base, and the base is the part of the word that holds the main meaning. We can add things onto the front of this word and we'll call them prefixes. Or we could add on sections at the end that we'll call suffixes. Today we're going to look at suffixes. What type of syllable is this one, student? Is it a closed, an open, a vowel consonant silent E, or a vowel team? Tell your teacher now. And can you tell your teacher how you know that this is a closed syllable? Well, it's got 1 short vowel, followed by, it has 1 consonant in this case, but it could have more. And we know that when we have a situation like that, the vowel will be short. Right now, I'd like to have a moment where we're going to work on adding suffixes to the different syllable types that we've learned so far. And as we do it, today we're going to begin to talk about the meanings of the suffixes. and how when we add different suffixes, it changes the meaning of the base. So this is the worksheet that I'd like you to take out right now. And there'll be one chart for every big concept. And the concept that's at the top here. So we're going to work on closed syllables. And for closed syllables, we're thinking about the 1-1-1 rule. Then we'll do the 2-1-1 rule, which is also part of closed syllables. And then on the next page, we'll move on to open syllables, vowel, consonant, silent E, and finally vowel teams. As we're doing this, we're always thinking about what is the great rule for each syllable type. So let's just do the first example. On the sheet, you can see that fun is provided as an example, and we turn fun into funny. So let's look at how that works. I write down the word fun, and then I think, here's the word, I think, is there one short vowel before the last consonant? Yes, there is. So that's why the check mark is in that second column. And then is there only one consonant at the end of that base? Yes, there is. So that's why the second check mark is in that next column. And then it says ending starts with a vowel. And I could choose an ending that starts with a vowel or one that doesn't. If I choose one that starts with a vowel, then ding, 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 a great spelling rule is going to kick in. So in this case, I chose Y. I want to turn fun into funny. So what is the great spelling rule that comes into closed syllables? If you can't remember, you can just look on your sheet because I put it in bold at the top of the chart. It's the 1-1-1 rule. So we've got 3 check marks there. We have one short vowel followed by only one consonant, and we're adding an ending that starts with a vowel. And this is a 1-syllable word, so I have to double the N. And what does this Y mean when we add it onto the end of fun? Because suffixes have meanings, remember. Well, Y means characterized by. So someone who is fun, who is characterized as being fun, we call that person funny. When you get to the next chart, it's called closed syllable 2-1-1 rule. Remember that when we have these words that are multi-syllables like pie, lot, we have to call the word to dinner because we need to know, is the pie the syllable that is stressed or is lot? If lot is the syllable that is stressed, then ding, 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 a great spelling rule will kick in if we're going to try to add a vowel ending, a suffix that starts with a vowel to the closed syllable that's at the end of pilot. So you'd say pilot and think which side is louder and longer. If pie is the louder, longer side, then just slam on the ending. But if lot is the louder side, then you have to apply the rule. Okay, your teacher has an eye on the time, so you might have time to do only one of each syllable type, but try and do that at least. And if there's more time, you could do 2 words if you can. So work on that activity, discussing your thinking as you do it. Now let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. You'll need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. This is a 2-syllable word, so we'll spell it syllable by syllable. Can you say G? Okay, find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say E? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. And can you say N? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. And think about any changes that you need to make. Did you say this word was green and spell it Green? If you did, that's right. Now let's add a suffix. What syllable type is green? Did you say that it was a vowel team? Okay, and what is the great spelling rule for adding suffixes to vowel teams? Well, in this syllable type, the rule is slam it on unless it ends in E. If it ends in E, we're going to drop the E and add the ending. So this one does not end in E, so it's just a slam it on situation. So here's your suffix. Can you say eh? Now find the correct tile and add it on to the end of green. Can you say s? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And can you say t? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. What's your word? And can you put that one in a sentence? Est is a suffix that means most. So when I say greenest, I mean it is the most green. Okay, put those tiles back and let's try a new word. Your sound is k. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is o. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is t. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Tap it and say it. Think about any changes that you need to make. Did you say this word was coat? And did you spell it C-O-A-T? If you did, that's right. So I would like to add a suffix onto coat, so an ending. Can you say ul? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say eh? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say s? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it, and think about any spelling changes that you have to make, and try to use that word in a sentence. Did you say that that was coatless? So if I have a coat, I'm coated. If I don't, I'm coatless. I'm less one coat. Did you spell it C-O-A-T-L-E-S-S? The suffix less is L-E-S-S. If you did, that's correct. Teacher, if you have time, you can do another word in this way. Otherwise, move on to the single word list, then the short story, and then add the fluency element. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for writing. This time I'm going to say the whole word, so it'll be the base and the suffix. And I want you to think of it as you write it. You'll be thinking of it in terms of what is the syllable type of the base, and then what is the suffix that's being added, and is there a great spelling rule that has to get applied? So here's your word. Cheerful. Can you repeat that word? Well, cheer is happiness, and if you add full to cheer, you're saying that someone is full of happiness, full of cheer. So how would you spell cheerful? Well, what's the first sound that you hear in cheerful? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. What's the next sound in cheerful? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. And what's the next sound in cheerful? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound in cheerful? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound in cheerful? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in cheerful? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Can you separate that word so that you have the base and then a little space and then the suffix? Okay, what type of syllable, so what syllable type is cheer? Did you say vowel team? You got it. And then full is a suffix that you've added to cheer. And what's the great rule that comes in when you add vowel teams, suffixes to vowel teams? Well, you just have to slam it on unless it ends in E. So in this case, he would spell cheerful, C-H-E-E-R-F-U-L. I hope you got it right. Now you have that separated, so just put the F-U-L back into your magnetic letters, but keep the cheer on your board. And I would like you to add the suffix less. So we're going to turn cheer into cheerless. What's the first sound that you hear in less? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in less? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in less? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Did you spell cheerless? Cheerless? If you did, that's right. So someone who is not happy, they have less cheer. So they are cheerless. There you go. Teacher, if you have time to do more words in this way, please do. And if not, then student, can you grab your line paper and a pencil? We're going to write some single words. Okay. Your word is need. Can you repeat that word? I need you to write the word need. But before you do, I'd like you to tap out the sounds, say the whole word, and then write it down. Okay, did you spell need? N-E-E-D? If you did, that's correct. Now I'd like you to add the suffix full. So someone who is really needy is full of need, so they're needful. Okay, tap out full, add it to need, and write it down. Did you spell this one N-E-E-D-F-U-L? If you did, that's right. Okay, now I'd like you to write down need less. So you already have need on the paper, so just write it again underneath and add the suffix less. Someone who is without needs is needless. Tap it, say it, write it down. Okay, let's try this one. Keyless. Can you say that? The door was keyless. I could just say door open and it would open. No key was needed. So it's keyless. Okay, think of the base and think of the suffix. Tap out the base, say the base, write it down. Tap out the suffix, say the suffix, write it down. Okay, did you spell this one K-E-Y-L-E-S-S? If you did, that's right. Now, teacher, if you have time to do more words in this way, then do so. And if not, then you can move on to the sentences. The teacher will read 3 sentences, and the student will choose the 2 that will be written. Student, after you write a sentence, please remember to check your work with CHOPS. Do a quick review before you go. Student, can you write down all of the vowel teams that you know that make the sound O? Can you repeat that sound? Write them down now, and when you finish, underline them and say O. Here's a hint, there are 3. Okay, let's check your work. Did you get all 3? OA, OW, and OE are all vowel teams that say O. The other big concept we've been talking about is bases and how to add suffixes to bases. You have learned about a lot of different syllable types. You know, closed syllables, open syllables, vowel consonant silent E, and vowel teams. And you'll know that there's a great spelling rule that kicks in for each syllable type when you're trying to add a suffix, particularly when the suffix starts with the vowel. What type of syllable is this one? Can you tap and say it and tell your teacher? Is this closed, open, vowel, consonant, silent E, or vowel team? Well, that one is closed. So if I want to add a suffix, like a Y means characterized by, so something that is characterized as, has the characteristic of sun is going to be called sunny. What is the great spelling rule that's going to kick in this space? Because I've got a vowel ending, a vowel suffix that starts with, so it starts with a vowel and I'm adding it to a closed syllable. Well, that one's where the 1-1-1 rule is going to kick in. So I say, is there one short vowel followed by only one consonant? Well, what I want to do is I want to separate this vowel Y as much as I can from the U so that there's no confusion about is the U long or short. So to do that, I'm going to double the consonants to make it really clear that this is a closed syllable here. That's why we have the doubling rule. Let's look at a different situation. What type of syllable is this one? So can you tap and say this word and then tell your teacher what syllable type it is? Well, that word is rain, and it's a vowel team. If I want to add E to say that this place is characterized by rain, it's a rainy place, then What is the great spelling rule that kicks in here? Well, in this syllable type, the rule is slam it on unless it ends in E, in which case we drop the E at the ending. And you can see why that rule happens, because we already have the vowel team here to say two vowels go walking and the first one does the talking. So there's no confusion because we've got the babysitter to separate it. And this is obviously going to say A. So we can just slam it on. And that's the rule. Great job today. That's the end of lesson 85. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.